Okay, good morning to all of you. I welcomes to all in our lecture series on statistical mechanics, that is your core paper 14, belongs to 6th semester BSc syllabus. In our last class we have been discussed in detail about effect of temperature on Fermi-Dirac distribution function, and this note in PDF format I have given the link in my description. You can download it. And today class we are going to discuss degenerate Fermi gas. So before I have to start, I suggest to all of you that this is important topic and also tricky topic, and you have to watch carefully. And also I will give the link of the PDF in my description. You can download the note of this topic. Okay, so let's start. So particles with half integral spin like electrons, protons and neutrons are called fermions that obey Fermi-Dirac statistics that we already discussed. The general expression for the most probable distribution in the energy levels for Fermi-Dirac gas is this one, or this is also called as so-called your Fermi-Dirac distribution law that we found from your Fermi-Dirac distribution law. You can check your note here. This one, Fermi-Dirac distribution law. So this is the most probable distribution of the fermions in the energy levels. So Ni equal to Gi by e to the power alpha plus beta epsilon I plus 1. Let D equal to e to the power alpha. Okay. See, this e to the power alpha plus beta I can be written as e to the power d into e to the power beta epsilon I. So here we considered e to the power, here e to the power alpha into e to the power beta epsilon I. Here we considered that e to the power alpha is your d. Okay. Then the above expression can be written as Ni equal to Gi by d into e to the power beta epsilon I plus 1. Let this is your equation number 1. For a single particle, the number of eigenstates lying between momentum p and p plus dp is this one. Many times we have been discussed this one. That equal to, this is your spin degeneracy factor 4 pi v p square dp by hq. Just you can check your note. Many times we have been discussed. Okay, even if I have the initial of the statistical mechanics, that this expression we have been discussed, and previous classes 2-3 classes also you can check your note, also we discussed the same. That is your, see this one, gp dp equal to 4 pi p square v by hq into dp, and here this is belongs to the gas molecule. If we are going to consider the fermions or any other particles having the spin, then we have to consider the Gs, which is nothing but your spin degeneracy factor, which is 2s plus 1. S is belongs to the spin of intrinsic spin of the particle. If we are going to consider the fermions, then this S is half integrals. Okay, half integrals, that may be half plus 3 or 3 by 2 or 5 by 2, like that. Okay, so we know very well that number of energy eigenstates in between p and p plus dp will be this one. Okay, for single particle. Okay, now we are going to convert this p dp to epsilon d epsilon in energy format. So here we know that epsilon equal to p square by 2m, p equal to 2m e root over, then dp will be equal to 2m root over is a constant, and root over of e derivative will be 1 by 2 root over of epsilon into d epsilon. Very simple. Now equation number 2 will be g epsilon d epsilon will be gs 4 pi v by hq 2m e into 2m root over into 1 by 2 root over of epsilon into d epsilon. Let this is your equation number 3. Now you are going to be thinking that same thing we are deriving again and again. Previously same thing we have been done in our note, and again we are doing the same work. No, you should not be think like that. This is the question. For this question you should be write these expressions for your full mark, okay, in your exam. So here I am writing the note of a topic that considering about that you have to write that topic in your exam and you are going to get the full mark. Okay, so here same thing again I written, and I suggest that also you have to write in your note. Okay, where G epsilon is density of the states function, already we have been discussed from equation number 1. See, G epsilon density of states, previously we have been discussed. You can check your note, density of state, where we just discussed density of states. Here you can see here now density of states is G epsilon. Okay, you can check just before Fermi energy of free electrons, you may written in your note, you just check it. And from equation number 1 and 3 we can get the number of particles in the energy range between epsilon and epsilon plus d epsilon will be how much? Dn. See, here I have been written Dn, the number of particles in between epsilon and d epsilon. Here epsilon is a function of n. Don't be think that here it is multiplied with n. No, this is Dn, but epsilon is the function of n. Okay, so Dn epsilon in bracket means function of n is the function of epsilon. Okay, will be equal to how much? Here you can see that see here in equation number 1, here Gi to be considered as your G epsilon d epsilon, because left hand side we consider Dn of function of epsilon. Okay, so it will be G epsilon d epsilon. We got this one. I have been substituted over here. Gs 4 pi v, Gs 4 pi v. Here m is there. M. Okay. And here 2 and 2 got cancelled, right? So here 2m root over, and here you can see epsilon, and here epsilon to the power minus 1 by 2 in the denominator. If I am going to take this this root over of epsilon to the numerator, it will be epsilon to the power minus 1 by 2. So here 1 epsilon is there, so epsilon to the power 1 minus 1 by 2, so epsilon to the power 1 by 2 here I have been written. Okay, d epsilon, and other parts are this one, 1 by d e to the power beta epsilon I plus 1. So here we have to consider e to the power epsilon by kt. Beta has been considered as 1 by kt. So it will be 1 by d e to the power beta epsilon plus 1, but beta is nothing but your 1 by kt. So this expression will be how much? Dn is the function of epsilon. Don't be think that it is multiplied. So Dn epsilon will be equal to Gs 4 pi mv by hq root over of 2m into epsilon to the power 1 by 2 d epsilon by d into e to the power epsilon by kt plus 1. Let this is your equation number 4. Now let us put x is equal to epsilon by kt. So if x equal to epsilon by kt, so dx will be equal to d epsilon by kt. Okay, so now equation number 4 will be, see, gs 4 pi mv by hq, 4 pi mv by hq, 2m root over into Here you can see epsilon. If x equal to epsilon by kt, epsilon equal to x into kt. So instead of epsilon, we can write x into kt to the power 1 by 2 into d epsilon. D epsilon will be nothing but your dx into kt. If dx equal to d epsilon by kt, so d epsilon will be dx into kt. So dx into kt whole divided by d into e to the power epsilon by kt plus 1. Here we consider that epsilon by kt as x. So d into e to the x plus 1. Now dn, which is a function of epsilon, dn function of epsilon will be equal to how much? Again simplify these things. What we got? gs 4 pi mv by hq, 4 pi mv by hq root over of 2m root over of 2m into, here you can see x to the power 1 by 2 dx kt to the power 1 by 2 kt to the power 1, so kt to the power 3 by 2, simple, by d into e to the x plus 1, that equal to gs into 2 by root pi 2 pi m kt by h square to the power 3 by 2 into v into x to the power 1 by 2 dx d to the ex plus 1. See, here kt to the power 3 by 2 is there. Okay. Here what we done, we considered a term like this into v, because this much value is nothing but the partition function of a translation of a gas molecule, of a molecule we can say. So just to substitute as zt for this expression, so I have been written in this format. You just concentrate that here 4 pi is there, 1 2 I considered, and 1 2 is here. So 2 here root over of 2 is how much? 2 to the power 3 by 2, right? Here m to the power 1, m to the power 1 by 2, m to the power 3 by 2, right? Here pi is here, pi is only pi is here. I just divided root pi and multiplied with the numerator as root pi. Then what we can found? Pi into root over of pi. That means pi to the power 3 by 2. So here we found 2 to the power 3 by 2, pi to the power 3 by 2, m to the power 3 by 2, here kt to the power 3 by 2. So simply I can write 2 pi m kt to the power 3 by 2. So here hq is there. I can write in the denominator h square to the power 3 by 2. H square root over is h. Here q is there, hq. Okay. Now we after writing in this format, we got gs into 2 by root over pi into 2 pi m kt by h square to the power 3 by 2 into v into x to the power 1 by 2 into dx by dex plus 1. Okay. But previously you can check your note, from the thermodynamic properties of a gas molecule, we found the translational partition function is what? This one, 2 pi m kt by h square to the power 3 by 2 into v, that we know. Here you can consider a gas molecule or a particle. Okay, a monoatomic particle having the translational partition function is this one. Already we discussed in our earlier of statistical mechanics. You can check your note. Okay. So hence dn here I not written again and again the function of epsilon. So I directly written dn equal to 2gs by root pi, 2gs by root pi. This much value is nothing but your zt, partition function of translational motion of a particle. So zt I have been substituted instead of this one. So zt, here see zt is t is in the subscript, okay, into x to the power 1 by 2 dx by d e to the x plus 1, d e to the x plus 1, right? Therefore now here dn is nothing but your number of particles in between epsilon and epsilon d epsilon. But if we want to know, or we want to find out the total number of particles, then I have to integrate. Therefore total number of particles will be n equal to integration of dn, left side if I integrated, obviously right side also we have to consider the integration, that is your 2gs by root pi, 2gs by root pi zt integration of 0 to infinity. Here 0 to infinity indicates that all the energy levels from 0 to infinite, all the energy levels we are going to be consider. So x to the power 1 by 2, because x is nothing but your epsilon by kt. Okay, so x to the power 1 by 2 dx by d to the x plus 1. Let this is your equation number 5. Okay, now total energy of Fermi-Dirac gas. Here we found total number of particles or total number of particles present in the Fermi gas, and now we are going to find out the total energy of Fermi-Dirac gas will be how much? Epsilon into dn integration. See here, integration of dn is represent the total particle, and if each particle have epsilon is the energy for each particle, then total energy will be equal to integration of epsilon into dn, and this will be equal to epsilon is nothing but is your x kt. You just substitute instead of epsilon x kt. Kt is constant taken outside of the integration. We can write x into dn integration. Okay, so that implies E equal to kt. Here we have to substitute for integration of dn. Dn means here this value we have to substitute, that is your 2gs by root pi, 2gs by root pi zt, and here is integration of 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity. Here x into dn, only dn have x to the power 1 by 2, again multiplied with x means x to the power 3 by 2 into dx by d into e to the x plus 1. Let this is your equation number 6. Okay, see these two expressions whatever we found in equation number 5 and 6, these two expression is going to be represent the degeneracy of the Fermi gas. If we have to change the temperature, or you can say if we are going to increase the temperature from absolute 0, what will be the degeneracy? These two expression is going to be tell to us. So how it will be, that we are going to be discuss further. You just watch. Okay, so here actually the variation we consider that the N and E for weak and strong degeneracy, and here at the end, weak degeneracy what will be the condition, strong degeneracy what will be the condition, that we are going to discuss. But before that we have to just discuss what previously already we have been discussed. Okay, see in the exam point of view, what exactly you have to write, what is the portion you have to write for this question, that I am going to say to you at the end of this discussion. Just watch. Okay, previously we found that epsilon f0, that means Fermi energy at 0 Kelvin is equal to h square by 2m 3n by 8 pi v to the power 3 by 2. You can check your note. You just go back and check your note. This is the average. This one absolute 0. This expression, the h square by 2m 3n by 8 pi v to the power 3 by 2, that is your this expression at 0 Kelvin means absolute 0, which represents, carefully you have to watch, which represents Fermi-Dirac gas, represents Fermi-Dirac gas possesses appreciable energy even at absolute 0, that means at 0 Kelvin. That means this expression represents that even at 0 Kelvin Fermi-Dirac gas have some energy. Okay, while both Bose-Einstein and classical statistics predict that zero value energy at 0 Kelvin. That means here these expressions tell to us that even at 0 Kelvin, at absolute 0, the Fermi-Dirac gas or fermions possesses some energy. However, classical statistics predict that at 0 Kelvin there is no energy of the particle. whatever we have been discussed. Bose-Einstein also said something, same thing, that at 0 Kelvin there is no energy of the particles. That we are going to discuss in our next topic, Bose-Einstein statistics. Then at 0 Kelvin how it will be zero energy. But here this expression tells that even at 0 Kelvin particles have some energy, Fermi energy, some energy is there. Okay, as temperature increases around 4 Kelvin, as temperature increases just above 4, approximately 4 Kelvin, the FD distribution function, Fermi-Dirac distribution function near EF0 takes the shape shown in the figure, this one. So this graph already we have been discussed in your last topic, this one. Okay, when temperature increases somewhat greater than that of the 0 Kelvin, the shape of the Fermi or the distribution function varies with energy as like this. So nearer to EF, this is your EF, Fermi energy level, exactly at this point the variation is this one. The variation is this one. And above just 0 Kelvin, we found for EF, for the EF, the distribution function is 0.5. But however, for the 0 Kelvin at EF also fulfilled. Okay. So at EF, above just 0 Kelvin, the probability will be, probability of distribution function of Fermi-Dirac is reduced to 0.5. Right. So here the same thing has been represented, that now that just above 0 Kelvin or approximately 4 Kelvin, the Fermi-Dirac distribution function near this one, EF, this is your epsilon F. Okay, epsilon F takes the shape as shown in the figure, what we discussed. So here some holes and the corresponding electrons we can find in the conduction band. Detail we have been discussed in the last class. Now let us consider Fermi temperature TF. So the Fermi temperature will be related with the Fermi energy, right? Will be related with the Fermi energy. So Fermi energy at absolute zero will be approximately TF into K. Okay. So here I told that initially that it is somewhat tricky, that you have to carefully observe. See, here we found that at T equal to 0 Kelvin, some energy is present for the fermions or Fermi gas, right? And we know that in general, if any energy is represented by K into T, K into T. So here, as we have this much energy at 0 Kelvin, suppose it is given that we found that for the fermions at 0 Kelvin, this is the energy. So, but if we are going to consider this much energy divided by K, what it will give? It will give the temperature. It will give the dimension or unit of the temperature. So here, as this is not equal to 0 and K is not equal to 0, this temperature could not be 0. You got my point? At 0 Kelvin, we found some value of the energy. However, in case of Bose-Einstein and classical statistics, it has been considered that the energy of the particles will be 0 at 0 Kelvin. But at 0 Kelvin, here we found there is some energy is present for the particles. So if I am going to divide K with this factor, then we can get some value, and that value is nothing but the dimension of the temperature. So that is nothing but is your TF, Fermi temperature, right? So the Fermi temperature can be represented as epsilon F value, which is at 0 Kelvin by K. Okay. Now we have to consider the temperature which is very less than that of the TF or KT, or if I am going to multiply K over here and this side K over here, then KT will be less than that of the epsilon F0. Here epsilon F0 is nothing but KTF, right? So KT, here T, if T is less than that of the TF, obviously KT will be less than that of the KTF, or that is your epsilon F. right? Then the distribution is called as a strong degenerate. Strong degenerate. I am going to be explain with an example. You just wait. Okay. For this case, that means when the temperature is less than that of the TF, then we can found the strong degenerate. Strong degeneracy of the energy level that we can found for this condition. And when T greater than that of the TF or KT greater than that of the epsilon F0, then the distribution is called a slightly or weakly degenerate, right? But when this is important, when the temperature is greater than that of the TF or KT greater than that of the epsilon F, your Fermi energy level, then we can get the classical limit and the distribution is non-degenerate, right? Here I am going to give you one example, simple example, whatever already we have been studied in our 5th semester and also somewhere in your 6th semester. So what is the example? Simple example, very simple example. See, I'm going to consider this is your one-dimensional well, infinitely one-dimensional potential well, infinitely one-dimensional potential well. Okay. So what is the energy eigenstates for this case? You can refer my video. You can know it that the energy levels are discrete, right? The energy levels are discrete like that, and initially it looks like that they are the space between the uh, two conjugative energy levels are going to be increased. But however, if we are going to move higher to higher states, then they are going to be close with each other. Okay. And another thing here I am going to give you, degeneracy means one level having two states but equal energy level. Suppose if I'm going to recall one thing, that for your three-dimensional box, E if energy E21 will be equal to energy 112 will be equal to energy 211, right? Just recall energy of N1, N2, N3 is how much? Is your h cross square by 2m into, if it is a cube, then it will be a square into nx square plus ny square plus nz square, right? This is your general term of a energy of a cubical of a particle trapped in a cube. Okay, so this is your h cross square by 2m a square into nx square ny square nz square. So here n can be 0 1 2 3 and so on. So if we are going to consider the energy level of E21 1 to 1, suppose this is the level energy 1 to 1, this level has three level of degeneracy. That means it can be E112, E121, E211, like that. Okay, same energy state, sorry, different energy states but same energy value. So this is the concept behind your degeneracy, whatever we discussed at that time. So here why I represented this degeneracy, and here that I am going to explain. See, here I am going to show you those things up to this much. Suppose you can refer that one-dimensional infinite well. You can found that initially it is the energy states are separated with larger distance, but at higher level they are closely spaced. How it is, why it is, also another video is there, you can refer that video. So at higher energy level they are going to be close with each other, but nearer to the ground state they are separating a distance. Means it looks like that the separation is increases, but at higher they are closely spaced. That means we can say continuous, right? The energy levels are continuous, but here these energy levels are fully discrete. Discrete energy levels. Okay, so here as these levels are discrete, then clearly we can define its degeneracy. Suppose this energy level is belongs to E112. Suppose this energy level, this is one dimensional I have been considered. Similarly we can consider the three dimensional. So suppose this energy level is your belongs to 1 to 1. Okay, so this energy level, this energy level, this fully distinct or discrete with definite or significant space. So hence this energy level, this energy level, this energy level separately can be distinguished. So only for that its degeneracy energy levels, that is your E 112, E121, E211 also can be significantly also can be represented, or significantly this degeneracy can be observed. As again I am going to tell to you, as these energy states are fully discrete and observed clearly, so hence its degeneracy can be also observed clearly, right? Now I am going to go for with another separate section or topic, then I am going to correlate. Just wait. So in our last class we have been discussed that the so-called your semiconductor materials theoretically made up of bands. So these bands also separated by your energy gap, but as we have to move higher to higher, the gap is going to be close enough, closer to close, like this. Okay, like that. So suppose at, carefully you have to watch, suppose at 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin means, and here we consider that this is your epsilon F, Fermi energy level. At 0 Kelvin means all the energy states are filled with electrons. All the energy states are filled with electrons. Above that, these are vacant. Okay, that we are already discussed. Okay. Epsilon F, below epsilon F, all the energy states are fully occupied by the particles. However, above this energy level epsilon F, all the energy levels are empty. Okay, all the energy levels are empty. Now here at 0 Kelvin, if I am going to ask this electron and this electron, suppose these are the energy levels, your first, second, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth of this band. Suppose if I am going to ask to this electron that which state you are belongs to, that electron will be tell that I am belongs to energy state 2. If I am going to ask the same question to this electron will say that 3, I am belongs to the energy state 3, right? Now, but this scenario is your at 0 Kelvin. Now, if we are going to give the temperature or energy from outside, what is going to happen? What is going to be happen? the electrons will be jump to higher excited state. As on the base of the temperature, if we given the a small amount of temperature, this electron will be jump to here. For small energy, this electron jumps from here to here, and a hole is created. Okay, if I am going to give large amount of temperature, then this electron can be jump to this one, this energy state, right? Okay, here you can see whenever we given higher to higher temperature, large temperature, the electron below the Fermi energy jumps to the higher state here. But here in your higher state, you can say here you can see one thing, that the energy gap is very less. Again, if I am going to move to another higher state, then the energy states are close enough, or energy bands are closed enough, or we can say that the energy states are very close with each other, or this belongs to continuous energy state situation. So continuous energy state situation, where we can found in your classical mechanics. So when temperature is greater than that of the TF, here TF is nearer to the 0 Kelvin, because this belongs to the energy at 0 Kelvin. So as this has some value, so if we have to divide K value, so it will give the value. It will give a value that we have been considered at the Fermi temperature. So this temperature is very nearer to the 0 Kelvin, right? Very nearer to the 0 Kelvin. So at 0 Kelvin, all the electrons are in the in this state, in the inner state which is below to the epsilon F. So if I am going to ask the question to these electrons, where you are belongs to, they can say that we are belongs to this band. Suppose I am going to give the language this band. This is your valence band. We are in the valence band. So if we are going to give the temperature somewhat, the electron jumps from here to here. So where I am now? I am now in the fast conduction band, right? Fast conduction band. So if I am going to give higher to higher energy temperature, T is greater than that of the 0 Kelvin, or the so-called TF Fermi temperature, then this electron may jumps to the higher state, where the energy states are very close with each other, or we can say continuous. And continuous means that is your classical scenario or classical picture. So this 3 to 4 lines, what is written here, I have been explained with an example very close to the things whatever here it has been written. Again, I am going to be read. You have to just watch it. Yes. Another thing is that, suppose if you are going to consider here TF is very nearer to the 0 Kelvin, right? So if we are going to decrease the temperature less than that of the TF and very close to the 0 Kelvin, that means we can get the energy states or the bands or the discrete energy bands. This is your fast conduction band, this is your valence band. It is differentiated with a gap, very significantly it is differentiated. This is one band, this is another band. But with at higher to higher level, if we are going to move, they are going to overlap with each other. So that means we can say that the electrons are free to move in the conduction band. That means the electron is very free to move. That means your energy levels are very continuous with each other. So that when temperature is very less than that of the corresponding TF, we can found very discrete energy levels. So discrete energy levels means strong degenerate we can found. I told that I am going to correlate this one. So here, if we can get the discrete energy level, then the degeneracy also we can found significantly. Carefully you have to listen. When we have discrete energy levels, the degeneracy can be observed significantly. So if the energy states are not discrete continuous, then suppose here one energy level is there, very closely another energy level is there. So suppose this energy level has some degeneracy, this level energy level has some degeneracy, but the degeneracy energy levels are overlap with each other. That means they are fully overlapped, means they are continuous with each other, they are not discrete, they are not discrete. So here here the particle can be here or here or here. That means if it is, if this is your 211, suppose if 211 is 211 is your less energy than this one and this one, so if we have to give the energy, then this will be moved to this energy state, then this energy state. That means degeneracy significantly observed, but here degeneracy could not be observed because the energy states are not discrete. So if energy states are discrete, degeneracy observed. So here energy states or band discreteness, how observed? At very low temperature, the band's discreteness, this is one band, this is another band, or in another language you can say that you understand, you just try to understand this example in the band discreteness. So here one, this band and this band is fully separated with each other. That means we can distinguish this band and this band easily. But at higher energy level, they are not distinct, they are continuous. So how we are going to find out the degeneracy? So degeneracy can be found at there where discrete energy levels will be possible. So discrete energy level, if we have, the degeneracy significantly can be observed. If discreteness is going to be reduced, the degeneracy also accordingly is going to be reduced. Okay, so whatever I given these examples and these examples to explain this one, I hopefully you somewhat you understood. Otherwise you just 2 and 3 times you just recap this portion in this 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so then strong degenerate when T greater than when T less than that of the TF. That means TF is very close to the your absolute zero. So when T, see this TF has some value, TS have some value, but is approximately 0 Kelvin, is somewhat greater than that of the 0 Kelvin. So if we are going to consider, suppose this TF is 2 Kelvin, suppose 2 Kelvin, suppose if I am going to again decrease the temperature towards 0 Kelvin, then the discreteness is going to be increased, discreteness of the energy states is going to be decreased. If discreteness is increased, the degeneracy also significantly observed. So strong degenerate can be observed when the T is greater than that of the TF. Now if we are going to consider the temperature is just above the 2 Kelvin or 5 Kelvin, we are going to consider just above the TF, then the electrons are jumped from here to here. That means the gap between the two bands has been reduced. Okay, that means your discreteness or degeneracy is somewhat reduced. So we can say that slightly or weakly degenerate can be observed. Okay, so when T greater than that of the TF, the degeneracy could not be observed because all the bands have to be continuous at the higher state. So only for that, at higher temperature greater than that of the TF, that is your KT greater than that of the EF, then we can get the classical limit and the distribution is your non-degenerate. So I suggest to all of you that no need to draw this figure. Here I drawn for you for the explanation. So no need to draw this one. You can easily understand what I explained. Simply I am telling to you that if we have discrete energy state, then the degeneracy can be observed clearly. If the discreteness we don't have, then degeneracy how can we can get? So in one dimensional infinite potential well also we can find out higher energy state, all the energy levels are continuous. Suppose the particle will be here, if I am going to give the temperature and this particle gone to here, so here this particle means here it is in a one energy state. Suppose it has to degeneracy, then it can be this particle say that I will be here or I will be here. No problem. This particle can be perceived, or that this particle can be say that I have two degeneracy levels for this particular energy state, and this can be significantly can be found or can be observed because these energy levels are discretely observed significantly. But if this particle moved from here to here by getting energy, or if you have to give the temperature, this particle moved to here. Here all the states are continuous. All the energy states are continuous means this the degeneracy also will be overlapped with each other. Can we found any type of degeneracy? We cannot found. So wherever we have discrete energy level, there we can found strong degenerate. That means it can be possible at very low temperature, at very high temperature which is greater than that of the TF. We are going to find the non-degeneracy case, or the classical, where the energy levels are continuous, right? Now we have to move further. Here the value of alpha is negative in the case of strong degenerate of eigenstate, and positive in case of non-degenerate or strongly positive in case of non-degenerate or slightly degenerate eigenstate. Or we can say epsilon f greater than 0 at low temperature for strongly degenerate. Obviously at low temperature epsilon f greater than 0, and epsilon f less than 0 at high temperature for non-degenerate or slightly degenerate case. I am going to explain with mathematical formulas. This much, just wait. So here we found that strong degenerate we found at very low temperature. T is less than that of the TF. Okay. So at this situation, what is about your Fermi-Dirac distribution function? At Fermi-Dirac distribution function, if we are going to be consider Fermi-Dirac distribution function, when we have to consider the temperature very close to 0 Kelvin, at EF below EF, the probability distribution function is 1, right? So that we are going to be consider. See, the so-called probability distribution function is 1 by e to the f alpha plus epsilon kt plus 1. Okay. So at 0 Kelvin, this value is how much? 1. This value is 1, right? That means here we consider that alpha is nothing but your minus epsilon f by kt, right? See here, e to the power alpha plus epsilon by kt plus 1, this is your Fermi-Dirac distribution function. However, but alpha is considered as minus epsilon f by kt when T equal to 0 Kelvin. That also we have been discussed when we have been in the topic of Fermi energy of free electron gas. Here absolute 0, average free electron energy absolute 0. What we have been discussed that somewhere we have taken here, I think here this case. For this case we have been considered. We consider that alpha equal to minus epsilon f by kt. See, if we are going to consider e to the power minus alpha will be minus epsilon f by kt here, then this will be satisfy for temperature the Fermi-Dirac distribution function below EF at t equal to 0 equal to 1. Again I am going to tell to you carefully, you have to listen. See, for your Fermi-Dirac distribution function at 0 Kelvin below epsilon f, the value should be 1, right? Here Fermi-Dirac distribution function is this one, right? So at 0 Kelvin, if we are going to consider alpha equal to minus epsilon f by kt, then it will be 1. Why? Because if we are going to consider minus epsilon f by kt, then it will be here, this will be epsilon minus epsilon f by kt plus 1. So whenever we have to put over here 0, this term should be negative. This term should be negative. This term should be negative means this energy is belongs to energy level below epsilon f, right? Below epsilon f, and below epsilon f, and Fermi-Dirac distribution functions will be give the 1, right? So what we have to consider, if we are going to consider plus, then it will be this factor could not be minus infinity. So this factor will be minus infinity if we are going to consider alpha will be minus epsilon f by kt. Again I am going to repeat these things carefully, you have to watch. See these things are back calculations. Sometimes we have to do in the mathematics to represent the physics. So here we found that below below epsilon f, the probability Fermi-Dirac distribution functions will be 1, always will be 1. So what we have to write in mathematics, that it will be 1. Below epsilon f, it should be 1. What will be the mathematics? Because we have Fermi-Dirac distribution function e to the alpha plus epsilon f by kt plus 1. So at absolute 0, here I substituted 0, but this should be minus infinite. If this value will be minus, then this e to the power minus infinity will become, and this will be 0. So to do so, here alpha is considered as minus epsilon f by kt. Got it? So if we are going to do so, then it will be e to the epsilon minus epsilon f by kt. So now you just put 0 Kelvin here. It is 0. This epsilon is always less than that of the epsilon f. So this will be the negative. So e to the minus infinity. E to the minus infinity means it will be 0. So 1 by 1 will be equal to 1. No need to write these things. May you can write in your rough, but no need. So we got 1. So for this case, what we considered? We considered alpha equal to minus epsilon by kt, right? Here alpha is your negative, right? Alpha is your negative. That means at 0 Kelvin, whatever the mathematics and physics, whatever we discussed here and previously, this one value Fermi-Dirac distribution function, we found 1 when at 0 Kelvin, right? At 0 Kelvin. And at 0 Kelvin we found the strong degenerate case. So at 0 Kelvin also we found alpha equal to minus negative value. So that means for alpha equal to negative value, we can get what? Strong degenerate. Same thing it has been written. The value of alpha is negative in case of strong degenerate. One line gone. Okay. Next. So obviously positive means it will be non-degenerate or slight degenerate. How it is? Okay, here we found what? Alpha is negative, right? So if alpha is negative, this is first line we have been understood. Okay, now alpha is positive for non-degenerate or slightly degenerate. How that I'm going to be discuss. So here alpha is negative means epsilon f is greater than 0. How? See, here alpha is negative. That means this alpha is negative means this is negative. That means epsilon f, if epsilon f will be positive, then alpha will be negative, right? See, this value is nothing but magnitude of alpha. Okay, alpha will be minus of this one. That means epsilon f is positive. So epsilon f greater than 0. That means for strong degenerate, epsilon f greater than 0 at low temperature. At low temperature. Right? Now, another point also you just remember, it will require. So here for the this is SD means strong degenerate. I will suggest that may you can write these things, whatever I am explaining, how it is positive, negative, etc. You can write somewhere in your note. So here you can see, if alpha is negative, D factor, whatever previously we have been considered, it will require in our next page. D we have been considered as e to the power alpha, right? So if alpha is negative, then D will be what? If alpha will be negative, then D will be e to the minus alpha. That means 1 by e to the alpha. So 1 by e to the alpha means this value will be always less than 1. That means strong degeneracy we can get, the conditions are when D is less than 1, or the condition we can say epsilon f greater than 0, or alpha is negative, right? Now we have to consider for the non-degenerate or slightly degenerate. Slightly degenerate means for higher temperature case we have to consider higher temperature case, right? So for higher temperature means this epsilon to the power something not to be 0. It could not be 0. See, for at low temperature, to make this f of fd will be equal to 1. Here we consider this one, alpha will be negative, blah blah, whatever we have discussed. And for higher temperature means this value not to be 0. This value will be some value. That means the overall value will be is going to be decrease than 1. Decrease than the 1. Because at higher temperature, what we found, higher temperature, the probability of finding the particles or Fermi-Dirac distribution function you could not found for a particular energy state. Suppose we are going to consider this epsilon, this will not 1, this is decreased value, less than that of the 1. So how we are going to be write in mathematically? Mathematically it can be written if this epsilon to the power whatever the value will be positive, not to be negative. Okay, so at higher temperature, if this is going to be this value is, this epsilon is belongs to less than that of the epsilon f, right? So if we are going to consider this is the less than, see what I'm telling, epsilon, see, e to the power epsilon minus epsilon f. For the low temperature approximately 0 Kelvin, this value should be negative. Should be negative means this value, and to make this value will be 1. That means below the epsilon f should be 1. To make this 1, this value 1, what we have to consider, that this will be epsilon minus epsilon f. This epsilon is always less than that of the epsilon f. That means suppose we are going to consider this will be 2 and this ef suppose 5, then we can get e to the minus 3, e to the minus 3 by 0. This will be e to the minus infinity, that will be total whole 0 plus 1 will be equal to 1, right? But temperature increases when temperature greater than that of the 0. At this whatever the value we have been taken 2, suppose this energy level is 2 and the EF is belongs to 5, at epsilon which will be equal to 2, there Fermi-Dirac distribution function not equal to 1 for greater than 0 Kelvin. For temperature greater than 0, same energy level having the Fermi-Dirac distribution function not to be 1 but less than 1. For less than 1, what we have to do? See, for less than 1, this is in the form of e to the power so epsilon minus epsilon f by kt plus 1, right? Now T is not equal to 0. Suppose T equal to 100 degrees and 100 Kelvin. Suppose T is 100 Kelvin. So this numerator should be a positive value. Then this whole will be positive. Then 1 by 1 plus positive means we can get the value, whatever the value with that will be the less than 1. So how this value is going to be positive? If epsilon f I am going to consider negative, then it will be epsilon f plus epsilon f. You got my point? This numerator should be positive. What we have to do? If we have to consider epsilon f will be negative, right? So same thing for weak degeneracy, epsilon f considered as negative. So alpha is nothing but minus epsilon f by kt. Here we consider alpha equal to minus epsilon f by kt. So here if epsilon f is negative, then alpha will be what? Positive, epsilon f by kt. Got it? So if alpha is positive, see, if epsilon f is negative, e to the power this positive by kt, okay, e to the power this will be positive because this is minus is there, so minus minus plus, so e to the alpha, so e to the ef by kt is nothing but your alpha is positive, okay. So alpha will be equal to epsilon f by kt, which is positive. Alpha will be positive. So and positive in case of non-degenerate or slightly degenerate eigenstate, right, at higher temperature. And if here alpha is negative in case of strong degenerate, alpha is positive for non-degenerate. And here you can see epsilon f considered as less than 0, that means negative. So epsilon f less than 0 at higher temperature for non-degenerate and slightly degenerate case, right? So here one point also you have to consider, if alpha is positive, then d we have been considered as e to the alpha will be greater than 1. So here for weak degeneracy, d is greater than 1. For strong degeneracy, d is less than 1. That you have to remember it. It will require in our next step. Okay. So this is all about this much we have been explained. This is also we have been explained here. So what I explained, may you can write systematically somewhere in your note, right? Now come to the another section of this topic. So here we have to just write. We have already total number of particles is this much, total number of energy is this much. So this integral value will be approximately how much, that we have to find out. Okay, after finding this and this integral value, then we can derive some conclusion regarding your degeneracy. Okay, so first we have to find out the value of that two integrals. So for that, here you can see that your value is x to the power 1 by 2 dx by d into e to the x plus 1, and here x to the 3 by 2 dx by d into e to the x plus 1. So first I am going to segregate, or I am going to elaborately write 1 by d e to the x plus 1 will be how much, then we have to further simplify. Okay, so here put the heading N and E for weak and strong degeneracy. To determine the variation of N and E for weak and strong degeneracy by using equation number 5 and 6, whatever I told, the weak and strong degeneracy can be determined by using 5 and 6. But before that, we have to determine these two integrations. Okay, the first integrals of 5 and 6 are estimated by considering the expansion of 1 by d e to the x plus 1. First we have to expand these things. So here now 1 by d e to the x plus 1 will be equal to d e to the x can be taken common from this term and this term. So this will 1 whole divided by 1 by d into e to the x whole into 1 plus 1 by d e to the x, and this e to the x move to the numerator, it will be e to the minus x by d into 1 by 1 plus this e to the x gone to this one here. This will e to the minus x by d, right? So this will be e to the power minus x by d, and this is in the form of 1 by 1 plus x. So 1 by 1 plus x series, may you remember what we studied in our core 8 paper mathematics. The so-called Taylor series of this one about z equal to 0 is nothing but 1 minus x plus x square minus x to the power q plus x to the power 4, like that. So here instead of x, it is e to the power x minus x by d. So here instead of x, we have to consider e to the minus x by d. So expansion of 1 by 1 plus e to the x by d will be how much? 1 minus, here x considered as e to the minus x by d, e to the minus x by d plus e to the minus x by d square minus e to the minus x by d cube, and so on. Let this is your equation number 7. Now we have to consider the integral from equation number 5, that is your x to the power 1 by 2 dx by d to the x plus 1. Here 1 by d to the x plus 1, we found this one, that is your equation number 7, and we have to just multiply x to the power 1 by 2 and dx is here, and integration 0 to infinity, simple. So here x to the power 1 by 2, whatever we found here in equation number 7, directly I have been substituted over here, and dx into dx. Now term by term I have to multiply. See, x to the power 1 by 2 e to the minus x by d, this is the first term, here I have been written. Okay, this 1 by t can be taken, you can write inside the integration, no problem, this is constant, leave it. So e to the 1 by 1 x to the power 1 by 2 e to the minus x into dx. Now multiply this one with this one, will be how much? E to the minus 2x, e to the minus x, e to the minus x, e to the minus 2x by d square, x to the 1 by 2. The second term will be minus is here 1 by d square, see d 1 by d square, x to the power 1 by 2 e to the minus x into e to the minus x, e to the minus 2x dx, right? Next term will be how much? X to the power 1 by 2, x to the power 1 by 2, 1 by d square, 1 by d cube, e to the minus x, e to the minus 2x, e to the minus 3x dx, like that. Next term will be 0 to infinity 1 by d to the 4 into x to the 1 by 2 e to the minus 4x, e to the minus 4x dx, and plus so on. Other terms can be considered. Enough up to this much. Now here you can see this value I have been substituted as root pi by 2. This is a gamma function. Okay, by considering gamma function, this value will be root pi by 2. This value I have been substituted as root pi by 2 into 1 by 2 to the power 3 by 2. How it is, I am going to show you. Okay, wait. See, these are simple integrations, gamma function, 0 to infinity x to the power 1 by 2 into e to the x dx will be how much? See, we know that gamma function is nothing but 0 to infinity e to the power minus x into x to the power n minus 1 dx is nothing but gamma n, right? Okay, so here you can see that this is in the form of 0 to infinity e to the minus x. This x to the power 1 by 2 can be written as what? 3 by 2 minus 1 dx. So here this will be the value of gamma 3 by 2. So gamma 3 by 2 is nothing but 1 by 2 plus 1. So gamma 1 by 2 plus 1 is nothing but 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2, right? So gamma 1 by 2 is nothing but root pi. So we found root pi by 2. So first integration value I have been substituted as root pi by 2. Okay, now second integration is your x to the power 1 by 2 e to the minus 2x dx. Here I done x to the power 1 by 2 e to the minus 2x dx. What I substituted? Root pi by 2 into 1 by 2 to the 3 by 2, right? So here 2x has been considered as t, x equal to dt by 2, dx equal to 1 by 2 dt. Now instead of x, we have to put t by 2 to the power 1 by 2 into e to the power e to the minus t. Okay, and here dx is nothing but your 1 by 2 into dt, right? So here we found that 2 to the power 1 by 2, here 2 to the power 1. See, 1 by 2 to the power 1 by 2, 1 2 to the power 1. So 1 by 2 to the power 3 by 2. So 0 to infinity t to the power 1 by 2 e to the power minus t dt. Right. So what will the value of this one? The value of this one is 2 to the power 3 by 2 into gamma. This 1 by 2 t to the power 1 by 2 can be written as 3 by 2 minus 1, that is gamma 3 by 2. So here we can find root pi by 2 1 by 2 to the 3 by 2 also again. But extra term is 1 by 2 to the 3, but here also we are going to see t to the 1 by 2 means t to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. That means gamma 3 by 2. Gamma 3 by 2 we found root pi by 2, root pi by 2, right? So here also we written root pi by 2, but 1 by 2 to the 3 by 2. Likewise, if you are going to try to find out the value of this one, integration of this one, x to the power 1 by 2 e to the power minus 3x, you can get root pi by 2 into 1 by 3 to the power 3 by 2. So here constant term is 1 by t, 1 by d square is there, 1 by dq, like that. The fourth term I not written, up to third term is enough. So it will be 1 by t root pi by 2 minus 1 by d square root pi by 2 into 1 by 2 to the power 3 by 2 plus 1 by dq into root pi by 2 into 1 by 3 to the power 3 by 2, right? And so on. So here root pi by 2 taken outside, it will be 1 by d minus 1 by d square into 1 by 2 to the power 3 by 2 plus 1 by dq into 1 by 3 to the power 3 by 2 and so on. Now equation number 5. Equation number 5 will be how much? Here we found the integral value of equation number 5 is this much. Now equation number 5 itself will be how much? 5, whatever we found, that this into this integral value. Integral value we have been evaluated. The n will be equal to 2gs by root pi into zt, 2gs by root pi into zt, and into this value, that is your into root pi by 2 and this one. Okay. Now here you can see root pi 2 got cancel, 2 got cancel, gs into t into the bracket terms, gs into zt, sorry, zt is there, gs into zt, okay, gs into zt and this much. Now we have to consider the another integral of equation number 6, that is your x to the power 3 by 2 in by d to the x minus 1. See, already 1 by d e to the x plus 1 we found, this one already we found, right? This one 1 by d e to the x minus 1 we found, this one. Just I have to multiply with x to the power 3 by 2, this one. So term by term, if I am going to multiply, this will be x to the power 3 by 2 e to the minus x by d, first integration 0 to infinity, then minus here d square e to the x e to the minus 2x, right? X to the 3 by 2, x to the 3 by 2 into dx. Then third term will be 1 by dq 0 to infinity x to the 3 by 2 into e to the minus 3x dx and so on, right? So here 1 by d, this integration will be how much? It will be 3 by 4 root pi. How it is? Here I am going to show you. So this is your integration. So it can be written as 0 to infinity x to the power 5 by 2 minus 1 into e to the minus x dx. So this will be gamma 5 by 2. It can be written as gamma 3 by 2 plus 1. So it will nothing but 3 by 2 into gamma 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 gamma 3 by 2 is nothing but 1 by 2 plus 1. So 3 by 2 into gamma 1 by 2 plus 1 is nothing but 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2 is equal to 3 by 4 gamma half is root pi. So root pi by 3 root pi by 4 or 3 by 4 root pi. Now similarly this can be x to the 3 by 2 e to the minus 2x. Here I written that 3 root pi by 4 2 to the power 5 by 2. Similarly same procedure you have to do. You can check by yourself that considering by 2x equal to t, and here x value you have to put as t by 2, then you can get a term 2 to the power 5 by 2 in the denominator, but by using gamma function, same 3 root pi by 4 you are going to get. You can check yourself, very easy. And the third term will be integration of this one will be 1 by dq 3 by 4 root over of pi into 1 by 3 to the 5 by 2 and so on. So here 3 into root pi can be taken outside and other terms have been written over here. Now equation number 6. Equation number 6 is nothing but your this integral value and this one kt g2 gs zt by root pi, that we have, that is your equation number 6. So equation number 6 will be kt 2 gs zt by root pi and this value 3 root pi by 4, this much. So here 2 got cancelled, 2 4 it will leave 2, so 3 by 2 is here and gszt root pi got cancelled, kt is here and in your the bracket term is here. Let this is your equation number 9. And considering the first approximation, now we have to consider the first approximation. We can write the equation number 8 and 9. The equation number 8 first approximation means up to this much we have to consider. Okay, up to 1 by t we have to consider. So n will be equal to gs zt into 1 by d. gs zt into 1 by d. gs zt we know that 2 pi mkt by s square to the power 3 by 2 into v and into 1 by d. And for the first approximation of energy will be up to this much we have to consider 1 by d. So 3 by 2 gs zt kt into 1 by d will be equal to this much. Let this is your equation number 10 and 11. Now we have to consider the weak degeneracy case. What will be the value of n and e? For the strong degeneracy, what would the value of n and e? Okay. So at T greater than Tf, that is the intermediate temperature. Intermediate temperature means not higher temperature, just above the Tf. That means you can consider. See here, roughly you consider Tf approximately 4 Kelvin. Roughly you consider 2 Kelvin. Okay, it is not 0. It not 0 and not more than 4 Kelvin. It is very nearer to 0 Kelvin because E epsilon f 0 is not 0. It is a value. So whenever we are going to be divide T, we found some temperature value only for that, right? Okay, so the forming gas is said to be slightly degenerate or weakly degenerate, not strongly degenerate. Okay, when T greater than Tf, because strongly degenerate we can get, simply you just remember, strongly degenerate we can get at very low temperature. Very low temperature, strong degenerate. If just temperature increases, the degeneracy is going to be decrease. Okay, so weakly degenerate when T greater than Tf. In this case, obviously K multiply over here Kt, this will be Ktf means epsilon f0. Then epsilon f is negative, whatever already we have been discussed. Alpha is positive, and D is greater than 1 for weak degeneracy. For weak degeneracy, what we found, D is greater than that of the 1 because alpha is positive, right? D is greater than 1. It can be found that degeneracy is the function of D. So here, as degeneracy depends upon this one, and epsilon f is negative, alpha is positive, and degeneracy, so D should be greater than 1. That means D may be 1 point something, 1 point something, that can be vary. That means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 like that. So if D greater than 1, then the degeneracy is going to be decrease. So weak degenerate we are going to be get. So it can found that degeneracy is the function of D, obviously. So for this case, D greater than 1, hence if D will be increased, here is the interesting thing. Here D will be increased, N and E will be decreased. Where is the value? Here. If D increased, N value decreased. When D increased, E value also decreased. Okay. How and why? I'm going to give you an example. Weight will be decreased. The n value will be decreased. This indicates that the particles are at higher states, where discrete energy states are converted to continuous, that is behave a classical statistics. Hence we have get weak degeneracy will possible for the discrete energy states. See here, n will decreased. N is decreased means the number of particles below Fermi energy, is going to be decreased when D factor is going to increase. D obviously greater than 1 means we are going to get the weak degenerate or strongly slightly degenerate. However, if D will be increased from this equation, number 10 and 10 and 11, what we found, if D increases, N decreases, D increases, E also increases, it decreases. That means when D is going to be increased, that means the lower energy states electrons, that means whatever the electrons or the particles will be at lower states, that density or that numbers is going to be decreased, because with increasing temperature these particles move to the higher state, and here at the lower energy states is going to be vacant with the particles. So the so-called the particles is going to vacate, or we can say the n is going to be decreased. So in another way you can understand that this is your atom, and these are your lower energy states, and these are your higher energy states. So lower energy states are filled with electrons at a very low temperature, and when the temperature has been increased, this electron has been moved, jumped to the higher, again higher. If enough temperature has to be given, this electron may be leave this atom. So if we are going to be increase the temperature, these electrons or these particles number is going to be decreased. Okay, if particles numbers is going to be decreased at that level below the Fermi energy level, the total energy is going to be also decreased, right? So hence we can get the weak degeneracy. Weak degeneracy means, see, both the way you can understand. See, if below energy level, below EF, all the particles are present, that means the system is at 0 Kelvin. Okay, if these particles, number of the particles is going to be decreased, how it will decrease? If we are going to give the temperature, then it will decrease, no? So if we are going to give the temperature, then it will decrease. That means it is decreasing means it is taken some temperature, right? So if it is decreased, that means electrons jumps to the higher energy state where the energy are continuous. Okay, same thing. So that means if we are going to give the temperature, the electron is going to be perceived the weak degeneracy instead of strong degeneracy, because continuous energy states they are going to be get. Hence we can get weak degeneracy will be possible for the discrete energy states. Okay, from equation number 10 and 11 also we can get that E by N, just divide E by N, this E by N, if we are going to divide, then 1 by D got cancel, V got cancel, this factor GS consider has been cancelled, so we can get 3 by 2 KT. Okay, so E by N we can get 3 by 2 KT. E by N we can get 3 by 2 KT, or E equal to 3 by 2 N KT. Let this is your equation number 12, and this is the well-known relation of the perfect gas in the classical statistics. So from this equation number 10 and 11 also we perceive the classical behavior of the Fermi Dirac gas at the higher temperature case, or that is belongs to your weak degeneracy case. Okay, now we are going to consider the strong degeneracy. For the strong degeneracy, we know that when the temperature is less than that of the TF, and the Fermi gas is said to be strong degenerate. Strong degenerate means below the TF or nearer to the 0 Kelvin, all the energy states are discrete, so degeneracy easily we can distinguish, or can be significantly observed. So T less than Tf, the forming gas is said to be strong degenerate. In this case, Kt, if we are going to multiply, Kt is less than Ef0, or Ef is positive, whatever we have discussed, and alpha in this case is negative, and D is less than 1. So here also we found degeneracy is the function of D factor. D can be less than anything. Okay, so in this case D less than 1. So when D is going to be decreased, when D is going to be decreased, here you can search the, you can consider the equation number 10 and 11. If D is going to increase, the number of particle and energy is going to increase. That means if at the lower energy states below EF the number of particles increasing, means we are decreasing the temperature. See, at a particular temperature this electron jumps to over here. Okay, that means here the number of particles has been decreased. That means this electron is in the classical mode. This electron not to found any type of discrete energy states. Discreteness is going to be decreased. Degeneracy also is going to be decreased. Now the temperature is going to be reduced. Is reduced means this electron again come back to its original position. If very low enough we are going to decrease, then this electron is going to be again re-jumped to below the epsilon f, and we are going to get the number of electrons or number of particles will be going to be increased below epsilon f. So as D less than 1, from the equation number 11 and 12 we found N and energy also increases. That means if here the number of electrons is going to be increased, that means we are decreasing the temperature. That means we are decreasing the temperature. See, I told from the initial it is somewhat a tricky topic. That means either this one happens, that will happen like that. So here N is increases, that means we are decreasing the temperature. If we are decreasing the temperature, discreteness is increases. Discreteness is if increases, so obviously the so-called degeneracy is going to be happens or going to be significantly observed. Okay, so here we found that degeneracy of the function T. So in this case D is greater than less than 1. Almost all of the particles below epsilon f. That means for this case what I told, that most all particles below epsilon f for this degeneracy case, strong degeneracy case, degeneracy case at T less than that of the Tf. So from equation number 11 and 12 can be found N and E. Here N is the number of particles below epsilon f, E is the internal energy. If number of particles will be increased, the internal energy also is going to be seems to be increased. So is larger, which indicates that particles are in discrete states having strong degeneracy, right? So for only two things we have to remember, that strong degeneracy we can found at very low temperature, where discrete energy state we can get easily. Weak degeneracy we can found at higher temperature, okay, where discreteness could not be observed, so obviously degeneracy we could not observe. Now this is all about this topic, that you have to watch it carefully, write down the note, and the PDF of this note I am going to give in the description. Link I am going to give the description, you can download it, no problem. Now question is that how much I have to write in the exam for the 10 to 12 marks. For the 10 to 12 marks, how much I have to write for the degenerate forming gas? See, for the degenerate forming gas you have to write this much, and these things in your note, these things you can just squeeze it, one step you can omit over here. Here our motivation is that we have to write this N and E in this format, right? So here you can omit one or two steps. Okay, next, here whatever we have been discussed, whatever energy epsilon f is less than will be somewhat at 0 Kelvin, blah blah, whatever we have discussed, this whole things you can remove for your exam. No need this one, no need this one. Directly we have to evaluate the integral values, two integral values for 5 and 6 equation. Here I written all the steps. Here you can omit one or two steps, and here also I written all the steps, may you can omit the two steps, two or one or two steps. And here we found after the first approximation we found this one, this one. And then for weak degeneracy you have to write all the things. See, whatever I written there, here same thing I have been written over here. Why? Here for t greater than tf, get t greater than, same thing I have been written. This para belongs to same thing. Why? Because this page things no need to write in the exam, but you have to write in your note. Okay, so weak degeneracy, whatever I written, everything you have to write. Strong degeneracy, whatever here it is written, also you have to write all the things. So this page, last page, you have to write all the things. Here the all the steps you have to write. May you can omit. I suggest that don't omit the steps. You will be confused in your exam. So, and here all the steps you have to write. May you can just omit. And this page, this whole page, no need to write in the exam. Again I tell you, no need to write in your exam. And this page you have to write, and this page you have to write. So 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 pages I suggest to you that you have to write down in your exam. So if you have just omit one or two steps, so it will be maximum 3.5 to up to 4 pages. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you. And write down it, watch it, write down it carefully, and ready for the next class. Next class we are going to discuss Bose-Einstein's statistics. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.